Well, it's October, October, as JK18 pointed out in one of his recent videos. I had a little misfortune of my own. Yeah. The fan motor in the air conditioner seized up. And I tried to spray it with some WD-40 earlier because it actually started seizing up about a month ago, because I was really trying to push it and hoping that it would last all the way up until where it gets cooler. Well, it got cool for a little while, but then it got hot again, and I tried to spray it again, you know, with some WD-40 through the vents to get the motor free up, just so it could run a little while until I can deal with it when it gets cold outside. If my dumb ass can speak English. And we're in October, and I sprayed it, and it's locked up for good. I can only turn it by hand, but it's not free enough for it to start up on its own. Yep, that's all I get. Although the compressor still works. But the fan don't. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out and oil it. Oh yeah, and these are all my con badges from the 6 years I attended Anthrocon. And my con badges right there. And from a video where I made cheeseburger sandwiches. Oh, and words to live by in the South. Yeah. Alright. So since this is not installed in a window like most window units are installed, it's kind of in a wall. So I'm going to see what it takes to get this out of here. As you can see, it's pretty much shoehorned in there. So this could either come out easy or it's going to be a real bitch to get out. This was installed from the last owner that owned this place, so I'm not really sure what to expect, but I'm gonna find out soon enough now, am I? As you can see, I can turn it a little by hand, but not enough for it to start. Alright, I guess the first thing I'm going to do is remove the molding around it. Well, actually the first thing I'm going to do is remove this, my little curtain rod of fame. Alright. By doing this, this is going to tell me if this is going to be a bitch or it's going to be easy. looks like it's just sitting there. Alright. See if it's... I guess. Looks like it's kind of shoehorned in there. I'm going to try to see if I can push it from outside. This is a tight fit. Shit. What do they do? Do they put the bricks around the air conditioner? Something? Damn, this thing's in here. Oh, fuck. Okay, after a few choice words from the English language, I managed to get it out. It's just dripping into a pan at the bottom. I wanted to pull it out from the back because I knew that the drip pan was going to be full of water of some kind. But unfortunately I can only go one way with it because that thing on the top, on the sides, stops it. So this is how it's going to come out, and that's how it's going to go back in once I get this all cleaned up and everything. Well, there it is. I kind of started this in the afternoon, so that's why it got dark so soon. But what I did is I was able to pull it out through the inside, turn it sideways, and stick it back through the opening to bring it over here, which is good because I didn't want to carry it down the hallway and drip whatever WD-40 I had in it all over the place. Another cool thing is, through the opening you can see my parlor fan running. Nice. Okay, for tonight, to make Spat Spare proud, I stuffed the opening with a box. And of course, a pair of sweatpants that I never wear. So, that's how I'm going to have it for the night. Box. Alright, we'll go ahead and take the cover off and see what we have. It's amazing how much dirt escapes your filter. Yeah. I mean, I thought this unit was old, but when I realized that it's got a LG electronics motor on it, thinking it's got some China pride in it, which was kind of disappointing. I mean, yeah, it's an earlier motor. I mean, when I first saw the motor through the grills on the side, I thought it was either a Westinghouse or a Universal. But when I saw that sticker on top, I was like, oh man. It's one of those earlier motors. before LG started making their motors look like hamburgers, well, cheeseburgers. When the seams close off in the middle, it looks like it's two buns and a piece of cheese sticking out. That's why I call them cheeseburger motors. Well, I figured out why all this is rotting over here in this corner. Look, all the way in the corner you got all that mud caked up in there. I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can see it. And you got all that mud sitting in the corner right there. Because you got the fan over here. Hang on, I'm zoomed in too much. The fan's kind of in on one side. And you got all this dirt that just sits in the corner right there, and it just rots the shit out of the corner right here because of that. Yeah. Well, it's all cleaned out. Looks like the motor might be pretty easy to get out. I mean, the blade comes off just by taking that clamp off. And I cleaned the blower wheel too, so this thing ought to perform a lot better since it had dirt caked up in all these fins right here. There's another clamp right there, and the squirrel cage will come off. Then I get the styrofoam housing out of the way. Undo those 4 nuts that's on the other side of this wall, holding the motor up, and I should be able to take the motor out, at least somewhat, and maybe put it over there. And probably put some oil in the bearings from the outside and kind of let it run in. And I'll get some thin sandpaper, I mean very fine sandpaper. Try to see if I can get the motor to run on its own, where I can clean the shafts on both ends off real good to be able to open this up and oil those 2 sponges that's on the sleeve bearings, and hopefully it should last at least another 20 years or until the compressor goes out. I mean, once the compressor goes out, that's it, it's gone, because you know they already have some places that are pretty bad on here because of all that dirt sitting in the corner, and it's rusting right there. Around the base of the compressor is rusting a little bit, especially right there. And yeah, at the bottom of the evaporator coil, you know, it's rusting there too, and there. So yeah, if I can just oil that and get it to last me another decade or 2, that's good. For the meantime, I'll be looking for a vintage alternative. So yeah. An interesting fact about this is that this is how I used to take the 1st and 2nd generation liquid plastic blade sets off of box fans. But then I learned from a few of my friends on YouTube that I don't have to do it that way. I could just push the blade clean off the rotor. Well, unfortunately with this one I can't really do that. So this one will be a little different. Okay, maybe even more different. I have to get a flat braid screwdriver to stick in there. Maybe that did it this time. No. Okay. I need a little more wiggling around or whatever. shouldn't be that hard to get off, since it was originally held on by a clamp. Now, we'll work this end out some more. There we go. Alright. Success. Almost success if it's going to let it go. There we go. There. Not too bad. And just as I expected. No oil ports. Alright, this one should be pretty easy to come off since it is indoors. Literally in a climate controlled area, with this being the climate control. Oops. It should come off pretty easy because there's no rust on the shaft. If only I had a little bit more room with the pliers, it'll be alright, because I'm trying not to hit the coil, because I don't want to damage the fins. Yeah. Oh, it should come off. Okay, I'm a liar. There we go. A little easier. Oops, didn't mean to hit the camera. A little easier. So I need to pull this styrofoam housing out without damaging it. Alright, the first attempt. Not quite. Alright, attempt number 2. Temporarily bend these up. Alright, let's see if this helps. Not quite. Fairly clear. Well, I'm just taking all this out because the bolts are rusty. So, may have to do a slight modification since I don't plan on working on this thing anymore after this. So. Cut a little section out, just enough to clear the shaft. That didn't do anything. That did something. It really did something. There we go. Alright. Not too bad. A little bit's not going to matter because this is behind it, like so. There, this is all what's left as far as taking the motor out. Okay, this is how I'm gonna repair this. Have to run some oil down the shaft on this side and on this side. Have it run, or try to get it to run, and clean the shaft off real good while the motor's spinning with some very fine sandpaper. And then I'll be able to pull both ends of the motor housing off. And then I can put some oil in the sponge that's going to be in this area right here, both sides. Where you see these rivets right here, that's pretty much the cup where that sponge is going to be sitting in. Just oil that up real good and oil the sleeve bearings and the shaft and put it back together, and hopefully it'll last another decade or two. Because by the time it's going to be another decade or two, all that's going to be really bad. I mean, it's bad now, but it's going to be really bad then, you know, when it comes to that point. Okay, sprayed both bearings with some penetrating oil last night and let it sit throughout the night. So, let's see if it loosened up the bearings at all, or any. It's still a little tight. Let me try something. Just gonna loosen these up a little bit. Oh, that definitely did it. I could turn it by hand now. Sweet. That definitely did it. Tighten these back up. All right. Now. It works. Sweet. Nice. Alright. Alright, now to clean the rust off the shafts here. Should make sure I don't get these mixed up before I go any further. Oops, I didn't want to do it that way. There. And I'll mark my lines. I have to clean the shaft a little more, maybe. Ah. It's got a real thermal fuse. The ones that resets themselves. That's good. That's good to know. That gives me a little more confidence in this motor now than I did before. Okay, I really don't have to take this completely off. So what I'm going to do is oil the sponge from here. Just dirty weight oil I'm using. And I'll just have, well, the excess is actually draining through the hole that the screws go in, so that's good. What I'm going to do is just soak the sponge up real good with oil. Yeah. And I'll just do the same thing for the other side. Okay, I got all the bolts back in. Now I'm going to clean it up. Get all the excess oil off of it. Yeah. Nice and free spinning. It went from being seized to having a long spin down time with no load on it whatsoever. Just the way I like it. It's performing a lot better than it ever did. Of course, with all that dirt on the squirrel cage, you know. Yeah. Alright, I've been letting it run all night, just the fan only, to make sure that there will not be any more problems as far as the blower motor goes. So we'll go ahead and put the housing back on and install it back in. Okay, now we'll test with the cover on. Sounds like an air conditioner to me. Oh yeah. Yeah, with the cover back on, you know, it seals off the condenser unit real good, so it's not really freezing up on this bottom part of the evaporator. They're all four are actually getting it now. So that's good. All right. Go ahead and install it back into the wall. There it is, back to its former glory. You know, I could actually feel the difference. Blows a lot more air now that that squirrel cage is all nice and clean again. Forms a lot better too. All right. Now for a special signing off. I'm gonna sign off Eskie Wolf style, where it involves two beverages. So here we go. Okay, that pretty much wraps up this video. My air conditioner is running fine, like it should, with no problems whatsoever. But something else happened on September that broke me. Today, October 11th, 2015, I am now 39 years old. So I am 1 year older and a little more uglier. I'm also going to do a closing. I usually don't do closings, but this I'm going to make an exception. I don't drink beer, so I'm going to smash these two doctors together. And I got a good reason too. Sports. As of now, I am fixing up the garage. That'll be my new workshop. So, expect more videos like this because Emerson Colley fucking said so!